Okay, we just finished our caramel apples. They turned out very, very yummy. Now I'm going to make some just plain caramel, so we can just slice that, and each kid can have a tray of caramel, each one of my grandchildren. And I've already chopped up my pecans for some people call them gophers. We always call them turtles, so I want to make some turtles today too. And there's such a big mess when you're making caramels that I just want to get it all done right now. So you're going to start with half a pound of butter and get that going on your stove. And you'll add half a pound of butter. You'll add 2 cups of Kantner syrup, the light Kantner syrup. This recipe was Grandma's, Grandma Blanche. Oh my goodness, she would make, I bet she would make about 10 batches of this caramel every year at Christmas time. She was the queen of caramels. She could make them, and she would make a big tray like this. I bet she would make 4 or 5 trays of those. She'd make them for all her grandchildren and her children for Christmas. Like I said, she was the queen of caramels. And she would cut them, slice them, have them all cut, wrap them in wax paper. My kids keep saying I should do that, and I keep saying, I don't think so. I remember all the work that Grandma did doing that. I helped her a couple times, but she would do that. You add 2 cups of sugar. She would do that every year at Christmas time. And then you put those 3 ingredients together in your heavy pan. Always use a heavy pan, heavy bottom pan, because your caramel, I think, is the worst candy to scorch on the bottom. And then you bring that to a boil. And you let it cook. Once it starts boiling, you let this cook for about 5 minutes on a kind of a medium heat, but it'll boil real heavy, real hard there. And you let that boil for 5 minutes, and on a heavy boil. And you do it on a medium heat, though. You can't do it on a high heat. But in the fall, I always enjoy making caramels, because we make caramel apples, we make turtles, and then we just make the caramels. I always make a little plate full for each one of the grandkids. They enjoy them. My granddaughter doesn't like caramel apples, but she loves the caramel. I had one grandson that wanted some turtles. So we had the grandkids stopping in all evening, picking up whatever they wanted. And like I said, we just got done with the apples, so now we're doing the caramel for everything else. So we'll let this get started cooking, and it'll cook for 5 minutes. You need to try this. I used to make caramel apples like this and pass them out for Halloween. That was so much fun, but I don't think we could do that today. Parents probably wouldn't want their kids getting them, but it would be fun. I always had fun to do that. Sit out on the front porch and have some caramel apples and popcorn balls. But I don't think anybody does that anymore. But it was fun when we could do it. So we're going to let this cook for 5 minutes, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. But you need to try this. It's a wonderful, wonderful caramel recipe. Doesn't take many ingredients, and you'll love it. That's just about 5 minutes on boil. Then we're going to add a half a cup of flour. And this we're going to add to our Eagle Brand milk. Now we add half a can of Eagle Brand to our half a cup of flour. This lets our flour get mixed up real good so that it dissolves and doesn't go in there and just kind of make little lumpy balls in it. We're going to add that to it and stir that in real good. Let it dissolve. It takes 2 cans of Eagle Brand, and I just put half of a can in with my flour so that it just mixes it up, because you just can't dump a half a cup of flour in your candy without mixing it with something. And the Eagle Brand is the best thing to mix it with. I'm not gonna have that all over my stove. That won't be pretty. And then just kind of try to get that mixed in there real good if you can. And then you want to add the other half a can to it. And then the other can. I love these cans that open like this. Don't have to get the can opener out. Got this on quite a few cans in your soups and different things, which works real good. They keep improving. Now this is going to cook until the candy turns a nice brown. Now we've never used a candy thermometer on this before. I've always done what Grandma did. I mean, her candy turned out perfect every time, so when it's not broke, don't fix it. So she just cooked it till it turned a golden brown. Then she'd drop a little bit of it down in the ice water, and it would form a little ball. And once that happened, your candy was done. And actually it takes about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your stove and how high you have your heat. It says a medium heat. Sometimes you might turn it down a little bit more or something, and might have it turned up a little, I don't know. But it takes 20 to 30 minutes of continuously stirring it so it don't scorch on the bottom. I'm having to do it this year myself. My grandson Josh always comes in and stirs my caramel. And this year he don't know I'm making it today, or he'd probably be here. Okay, I think we've got caramel. It took about 25 minutes on this. I'm going to test it here. Like I said, we just drop a little bit in the bowl of ice water and see if it forms a ball. And because it is a nice brown, and it is forming a nice ball. This is the best part about it. Yeah, and it's nice and chewy. So I'm going to turn my burner off because my stove will stay hot for a few minutes. And I'll put about a teaspoon of vanilla in it. And when you put that in it, be careful because it will bubble. and caramel is hot. You get that on your skin and oh my goodness, you've got a blister right now. So stir that in real good. And your caramel is done. Now, I'm going to do 2 different things with this batch of caramel. Take it off my stove. And it's going to keep cooking because my pan has got a very, very heavy bottom to it. I've already done chopped up my pecans, and I'm going to use those. I'm going to transfer my caramel into another pan so that it cools faster. Because it's going to keep cooking and it's going to stay hot in this heavy pan. And I'm wanting to make turtles, and I'm also going to make just plain caramel. The kids love caramel. So I'm going to do just some plain caramel, dishes of caramel, and then when I get it done, I'll text the kids, and when they get off work, they can all stop by and pick up their caramel apples and their plates of caramel and some of the, if they want, I don't know if they all want that, one of them did, one didn't, so I don't know. They'll pick up whatever they want. Okay, I think we're finished. I got my caramel made for the grandkids. I made little dishes for each one of them. We've got our, some people call them gophers. Got all these made up and got several trays of these made. And I hope you'll try this. It's very easy to make, very simple. The caramel's delicious. I've made this, and we made our caramel apples. The caramel apples, I think, are my favorite. I love caramel apples. And the caramel, you can freeze it. That's one good thing about it. The turtles, I will probably put those in freezer containers and freeze them. And we'll save a lot of those for Christmas. The caramel, I have several trays of those that I'll freeze and save those for the holidays. The apples, of course, we won't. But it's something you can make ahead of time because at the holidays we're always so busy. And this is one candy that everyone will love, and you can make it ahead of time and you don't have to rush to get it done. Make it, put it in the freezer, you can do it now, and you've got it for Christmas. So I just want to say thank you, Bunches, for joining me today. And please try it, and if you have any questions, just jot them down and we'll try to get back to you.